I just caught my husband of 7 years, standing in our kitchen, after being paralyzed, for the last 3 years. I've sacrificed everything for him. I'm shaking as I type this. 3 hours ago, my entire life shattered into a million fucking pieces. And I don't know who to talk to because everyone we know thinks my husband is a tragic hero who survived a terrible accident. Turns out he's just a fraud who's been lying to my face every single day for 3 years. Some backstory. My husband Jake, 38M, and I, 35F, have been married for 7 years. 3 years ago, he was in a construction accident where scaffolding collapsed. He fell 2 stories and suffered spinal injuries. The doctors initially said he might recover some mobility, but after months of no progress, we accepted that he would likely be in a wheelchair permanently. He can move his arms, but supposedly lost all function below the waist. I've spent the last 3 years of my life as his caretaker. I left my job as a marketing director, kissed a $95,000 salary goodbye, to take care of him full-time. We sued the construction company and got a massive settlement plus long-term disability payments. It's been enough for us to live on, but that's not the point. Do you have any idea what it's like to bathe another adult? To help them with bathroom functions? To be both spouse and nurse 24/7? I've done everything for him. Everything. I cook special meals based on his nutritional needs. I drive him to endless doctor appointments. I've retrofitted our entire house for wheelchair accessibility. We spent $60,000 on renovations. I massage his legs daily to prevent muscle atrophy. I've been his emotional support while putting my own feelings on hold. I've given up girls' nights, vacations, career opportunities. My friends gradually stopped calling because I was always too busy or too drained to go out. My sister had a baby last year, and I've only seen my nephew twice because traveling with Jake is too difficult. Sex became a complicated, one-sided affair that's mostly disappeared from our marriage. I've been to therapy to deal with the grief of losing the life we planned together. And you know what? I never complained. Not once. Because I love him. Because in sickness and in health, actually meant something to me. Because I told myself this was just our path. And I needed to be strong for both of us. Yesterday was supposed to be a full day for me. I had a doctor's appointment in the morning, just a checkup, then lunch with my mom, and finally a support group for spouses of disabled partners. Jake's mom usually comes over on Thursdays to keep him company, but she called that morning to say she had a cold and didn't want to risk getting him sick. Jake insisted I go anyway. I'll be fine alone for a few hours, he said. I've got my phone, the TV remote, and plenty of water and snacks within reach. He even joked that he'd enjoy some me time. I felt guilty, but he practically pushed me out the door. My doctor's appointment finished early, and Mom canceled lunch because she got called into work for an emergency. I decided to skip the support group too. I was exhausted and just wanted to go home and take a nap. Jake wasn't expecting me back for another 5 hours. I pulled into our driveway around 11:30 a.m. I was quiet coming in because I thought Jake might be napping. I heard noise from the kitchen, the clink of dishes, the refrigerator door closing. I figured his mom had changed her mind and come over after all. But when I walked into the kitchen, there was Jake, standing at the counter, making a fucking sandwich, walking, standing, moving normally, like nothing was wrong with him. For a few seconds, I thought I was hallucinating. He didn't hear me come in. I just stood there watching him move around our kitchen, reaching for the top shelf of the cabinet where we keep the peanut butter, bending down to get a knife from the drawer. Movements he supposedly couldn't do anymore. When he finally turned and saw me, his face went white. The plate he was holding crashed to the floor. We stared at each other for what felt like an eternity before he whispered, "I can explain." Explain? Explain. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. 3 years of my life, of sacrifice, of pain, of putting everything on hold, flashed before my eyes. I turned around, walked out the door, got in my car, and drove to a hotel. He's been calling nonstop. I've turned off my phone. I keep replaying memories in my head. All those times I had to help him into the bathtub. All those nights I woke up to turn him so he wouldn't get bed sores. All those doctor appointments where he let medical professionals examine him and prescribe treatments for a condition he was faking. Was everyone in on it? The doctors? The physical therapists? No, they couldn't be. Jake was just really committed to his lie. He'd go limp during examinations. He'd grimace and pretend pain during therapy. He'd talk about phantom sensations and depression over his condition. I've been crying for hours, then getting angry, then laughing hysterically at how stupid I've been. My entire identity for the past 3 years has been devoted wife of disabled husband. I've been praised for my sacrifice. People have called me a saint. Jake's family treats me like I'm some kind of angel. It was all a lie. All of it. I finally looked at my phone. 37 missed calls from Jake. Dozens of texts begging me to come home, so he can explain. Explain what? That he's been committing insurance fraud? That he's been making me wipe his ass for 3 years when he could do it himself? That he watched me give up my career, my friends, my independence for a lie? There's one text that keeps replaying in my mind. Baby, please. The money was too good to pass up. I was doing it for US. For us. For US. He robbed me of 3 years of my life. 3 years I can never get back. I'm 35 now. I wanted kids. We put that off because of his condition. I wanted to travel. I wanted to get my MBA. I wanted a normal sex life. I wanted a partner, not a patient. And all this time, he could have been helping me. He could have been an equal in our relationship. Instead, he lay in bed letting me wait on him hand and foot while he secretly walked around whenever I wasn't home. How many times did he get up when I left the house? Did he watch TV standing up? Did he dance around the living room? Did he go outside when I was at support group meetings, crying about how hard my life had become? I keep thinking about the little inconsistencies I should have noticed. How sometimes things in the house would be slightly moved. How he'd occasionally have snacks I didn't remember getting for him. How sometimes his legs didn't seem as atrophied as they should have been despite his condition. His mother just called from his phone. Apparently he told her everything, and she's shocked and horrified and had no idea. She wants me to come home, so we can all talk. Talk. What is there to talk about? I don't know what to do. Obviously, I'm divorcing him. That's not even a question. But do I report him for insurance fraud? Do I tell everyone we know? Do I burn all his belongings in the front yard? Kidding. Sort of. I've wasted 3 years of my life catering to a lie. 3 years I can never get back. 3 years of putting my dreams and needs on hold for someone who was perfectly capable of taking care of both of us. I feel like such a fool. The worst part? A tiny sick part of me is relieved. The man I fell in love with isn't actually paralyzed. Isn't that fucked up? I'm almost grateful that it was all a lie, because it means he's not really injured. What kind of person does that make me? I just ordered another night at this hotel. I can't face him yet. I can't face anyone. I keep imagining walking into our house and seeing him sitting in that wheelchair, pretending again, as if I didn't see what I saw. Or worse, seeing him walking around normally, the charade finally over, expecting me to just accept it and move on. How do you move on from something like this? How do you forgive someone who stole years of your life? Who watched you struggle every day and said nothing? Who accepted your sacrifice while giving nothing in return? I gave up everything for him. My career. My social life. My body. I've gained 30 pounds from stress eating and lack of time to exercise. My mental health. My dreams. I don't recognize myself anymore. I look in the mirror and see a tired, angry woman I don't know. I called my old boss today, just to see. My position was filled years ago, but she said she might have something else opening up in a few months. It felt surreal talking about work again, about a future that doesn't revolve around Jake's care schedule. Can I even go back to normal life after this? Is there a normal to go back to? The life we had before the accident doesn't exist anymore. I'm not the same person. And Jake. Jake is a stranger to me now. His mom texted that he's truly sorry, and that he got caught up in the money, and didn't know how to end it once it started. As if that excuses anything. As if there was ever a good time in the past 3 years to say, "Hey, honey, funny story. I can actually walk just fine." I'm trying to think practically through my rage. We own our house together. Most of our money is tied up in joint accounts. The settlement money is in a separate account in his name only. Red flag I never questioned. I have about $7,000 in a personal savings account he doesn't have access to. Enough for a few months if I'm careful. I've contacted a lawyer. I have a consultation tomorrow morning. She specializes in divorce and fraud cases. I'm bringing screenshots of Jake's confession texts. Part of me wants everyone to know what he did. His family, our friends, the insurance company, the doctors. I want his world to burn down the way mine has. I want him to feel even a fraction of the betrayal and loss I'm feeling right now. Another part of me is terrified of the fallout. If he goes to jail for fraud, what happens to me? To our house? To the life I've built around his lie? It feels like I'm being punished for his crime. I keep thinking about all the little moments. All the times I held him while he cried about his condition. All the research I did on spinal injuries. All the accessibility advocacy I got involved with. All the times I defended him when people stared at us in public. Did he enjoy it? Did he get some sick thrill out of watching me run myself ragged for him? Was it just about the money? Or was there something deeper and more twisted going on? I've been his nurse, his cheerleader, his advocate, his voice when he was too depressed to speak up for himself. I've bathed him, dressed him, cut his food, administered his medications. I've done everything short of chew his food for him. And he could walk the entire time. I don't think I'll ever trust anyone again. How can I? The person I trusted most in the world has been lying to my face every day for 3 years. Every I love you was a lie. Every thank you for taking care of me was a lie. Every moment of our marriage for the past 3 years has been built on a foundation of lies. My sister just called. She's coming to the hotel. I told her everything. She didn't believe me at first. That's how convincing Jake's act has been. She thought I was having some kind of breakdown. I had to send her the texts where he admits it. She's furious. She wants to go to our house and confront him herself. I told her not to. I don't want him to have any warning about what I'm going to do. The lawyer advised me to gather evidence before making any moves. The evidence? God. I have photos documenting his condition for the insurance company. I have journals where I wrote about his care. I have receipts for thousands of dollars of medical equipment. I have videos I took of his physical therapy sessions to track his progress. All fake. All part of an elaborate scam that I unwittingly helped him pull off. I feel like I'm losing my mind. One minute I'm sobbing. The next I'm plotting revenge. The next I'm wondering if this is all a nightmare I'll wake up from. But I know what I saw. My husband standing in our kitchen. Walking. Moving. Completely capable of taking care of himself. While I've been killing myself to take care of him. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. I don't know what I'm going to do with the shattered pieces of the life I thought I was living. All I know is that I can never go back to being the person I was yesterday. That woman died the moment she saw her husband standing in the kitchen. If he could lie about this, convince doctors, fool insurance investigators, deceive everyone we know, what else has he lied about? Was anything in our relationship real? I've decided I'm going to our house tomorrow to get my important documents and some clothes. My sister is coming with me. Jake's mom offered to make sure he won't be there. But I don't trust her anymore either. For all I know, she's been part of this all along. I don't know what kind of justice exists for something like this. No court can give me back the years I've lost. No amount of money can repair the damage to my soul. There's no punishment that fits this crime. All I know is that I'm done. Done being a caretaker. Done being a fool. Done putting everyone else's needs before my own. If there's one silver lining to this nightmare, it's that I now have irrefutable proof that I'm strong enough to build a new life on my own. If I could carry both of us for 3 years, I can certainly carry myself. But first, I need to make him pay for what he's done. Not just financially, but in every way possible. I need the world to know who he really is. I need him to feel even a fraction of the pain and betrayal I'm feeling right now. I trusted him with my heart, my life, my future. And he repaid that trust with the cruelest deception I could imagine. So please, tell me I'm not crazy for wanting to burn his entire life down. Tell me I'm justified in my rage. Tell me there's a way forward from this, because right now, I can't see one. And if you're in a relationship with someone you think you know completely, look closer. The person lying next to you in bed might be a stranger wearing a familiar face.